Welcome to this Leaving Cert German 2026 predictions video. In this presentation, I'm going to walk you through the most likely topics, key exam insights, and practical strategies to help you maximise your result. The focus is working smarter, not harder, by concentrating on what actually matters for the German exam. The Complete Revision Package. This course is designed as a complete revision system. It includes structured video tutorials, detailed notes, and targeted exam practice. The idea is to simplify the subject by breaking it down into clear, manageable sections so you can build confidence step by step rather than feeling overwhelmed. With this package, you get 24/7 access to video grinds covering the entire course. There are also PowerPoint summaries, high-quality notes aimed at top grades, exam-style questions, full marking schemes, and detailed solutions. In addition, quizzes and adaptive learning tools help track your progress and highlight areas you need to improve. Here are some of the subjects for Leaving Cert as well as Junior Cert. Remember that you can gain access to all of these subjects through the ExamRevision website. As well as that, there is a 40% discount. So see the link below. Here are some student reviews. These reviews reflect the experiences of students who have already used the course. A common theme is that students found the explanations clear and the structure helpful. Many also mentioned improved confidence going into their exams, which is a key factor in performing well. The Leaving Cert German exam consists of 4 main skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Each of these plays an important role in your final grade. Understanding how the exam is structured also allows you to plan your revision more effectively and avoid surprises on the day. The German exam in duration is 2.5 hours long, and your listening exam takes place after the written exam. So familiarise yourself with the structure and also the time allocation to maximise your performance in the exam. So here's the examination layout. The oral takes place earlier in the year, which you've already completed. The written paper includes both reading comprehensions and writing tasks, as well as grammar. And the listening is completed after the written paper. Being familiar with this sequence helps you to prepare the right time for each component. Here's the breakdown for the higher level exam. At higher level, the exam is worth 400 marks in total. The oral exam accounts for 25%, which is a significant portion. The listening is 20%. The reading comprehensions are both worth 30% in total, and your written productions are just under 19%, as well as the grammar, which is just over 6% of your exam. The breakdown shows clearly the strong reading and oral skills are especially important in the exam. A clear timing strategy can make a big difference. Spend around 35 to 40 minutes on each reading comprehension, about 10 minutes on your grammar section, 20 minutes on your Äußerung, and then roughly 35 to 30 minutes on the main writing task, which is your letter. Always try to leave a few minutes at the end to check your answers carefully. Do not get stuck on difficult questions, move on and return to them later. But practicing your timing by using exam papers is going to help you improve maximising your grade with the best time allocation. To prepare effectively, focus on building vocabulary, improving speaking skills, practicing reading and writing, developing listening ability, and strengthening your grammar. Past exam papers are particularly valuable because they show you exactly what to expect. For Reading Comprehension 1, this section usually involves a narrative text, often based on a story or personal experience. You will need to understand key details, answer questions in German, as well as English, and sometimes interpret the thoughts or behaviours of characters in the text. As we've talked about, Reading Comprehension 1, the text is usually narrative and centred around a young person's life. What we've seen in recent years is a clear shift towards realistic, relatable situations rather than abstract stories. For 2026, the strongest predicted themes are around social media, mental health and fitness, friendship, problems, and school-related stress. These topics reflect real pressures students face, so the examiners are likely to continue using them. From a strategy point of view, you need to focus on three things. First, understanding the overall storyline. Don't get lost in individual words. Sometimes you don't need to understand every word in order to understand what's going on in the text. Sometimes when you know who the subject is, who or what is doing the action, as well as the verb, what action they're performing, you're a long way to getting the gist of what's happening in the story. Secondly, identifying key words linked to emotions such as happiness, stress, anger, or confusion are really important to notice. And thirdly, answering in clear, correct German and English rather than overcomplicating your sentences is important. So sometimes, bullet point answer, bullet point answer. A common mistake is trying to translate every word for word. Instead, read for meaning. If you can understand the situation and the character's feelings, you are already in a strong position to answer most questions accurately. This section tests your ability to apply rules accurately. This might include identifying verb tenses, recognizing sentence structure, the correct adjective endings, and is probably the most predictable part of the exam. Here is an example of how the grammar section is presented, where you have option 1 or option 2. Some students might only choose to do one of the options. However, I suggest to students, if you know how to answer both grammar sections, hedge your bets and attempt both, trying to maximise the potential grade you can get. The grammar section is probably one of the most predictable parts of the exam, and it's also one of the easiest areas to improve with practice. For 2026, you should absolutely expect verb-focused questions. This includes identifying tenses such as the present, past, or perfect tense, as well as recognising infinitives or subject agreement. Likewise, you might be asked to translate sentences from the present tense into the imperfect tense, or likewise from the imperfect tense back into the present tense. So understanding that begin changes to began, or if they give you the sentence in the imperfect where it's began and you have to translate it back into the present tense, if it's in the third person, it changes from began back to begin. So learn your verbs list. Likewise, conjunctions are another key area, especially words like weil, das, und, and aber. You need to know how they affect the word order, particularly with sending the verb to the end of the clause. So learning about different types of coordinating conjunctions and likewise subordinating conjunctions is really going to help you. Remember, coordinating conjunctions are coordinated. They do not affect the position of the verb in a sentence. However, subordinating conjunctions send the verb to the very end of the clause. Another topic might be cases, such as identifying the nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive in a sentence, which are also likely to appear. Often through prepositions or articles. Remember that if you see prepositions, they usually are like alarm bells going off in the exam. They're telling you the particular case of the noun. Even a basic understanding here can gain you marks. The key of voice is accuracy over complexity. You don't need to know crazy advanced grammar, you just need to be able to apply the basics correctly. Regular short practice sessions with past exam papers will make a big difference here for you. Some students will attempt both option A and option B, which is also good because you can hedge your bets, and whichever one you do perform better in the grammar section, that will be taken as your overall mark for your grammar. So there's no reason why you can't attempt both sections. For reading comprehension 2, this section typically is based on a factual or informational text, such as an interview or article. The focus is on extracting key information and demonstrating a clear understanding of the content. Reading comprehension 2 is different because it focuses on factual or informational texts. These are often based on real-world topics and are slightly more formal in tone. For 2026, the most likely topics include climate change, AI, careers, and travel. These are all global issues that have appeared repeatedly in more recent years. And to prepare effectively, you should build topic-specific vocabulary. For example, around climate change, learn words related to the environment, pollution and sustainability. For technology, focus on terms linked to digital life and innovation. When answering questions, the key skill is extracting precise information. You are not expected to give long answers, just clear, accurate ones based on the text. Avoid adding unnecessary details that are not directly asked for. A strong approach is to scan the questions first, then locate and find the relevant parts of the text that answer the question directly. For the Äußerungsthema, in this task, you describe a photo and give your opinion. You need to write roughly about 100 words. However, don't count how many words you're writing. The examiner will not check this. The key is to be clear, structured, and relevant while showing your ability to express ideas in German. The Äußerungsthema part is a short but very important task. You are required to describe a photo, give your opinion, and justify your ideas around 100 words. Option A is always closely linked to the reading comprehension. So if you understand the reading comprehension really well, you might have vocabulary, verbs, nouns, adjectives, and even ideas that you can extract from the reading comprehension to help you answer option A. Whereas option B completely distances itself from the reading comprehension text. As well as that, don't fall into the trap of just picking option A or option B on what image you see. You should always read the questions that go along with it to ensure that you can answer them. For 2026, the most likely topics are the environment, social media, healthy lifestyles, and technology. These themes are extremely common and can be prepared in advance. The key success here is the structure. Start by describing what you see in the photo. So you should be looking at how many people are in the photo, how many girls and boys are in it, what kind of category do they fall into, are they teenagers, are they students, are they adults, describing what they're doing, also the background to see where they potentially are, and as a last resort I would describe their clothing. So then move on to your opinion and finally give reasons to support it. It's important to use flexible opinion phrases that can be adapted to any topic. For example, in my opinion, I believe that, it is important because are also very useful. Students often lose marks by writing too little or not developing their ideas. Aim to give at least 2 clear points with simple explanations. Keep your language accurate and avoid unnecessary risks. Here is what the Äußerungsthema looks like. Remember, don't just choose the image that looks like it's easier to describe. Always read the questions that appear after it. Sometimes choosing the image that it looks like it's easier to describe can actually be the wrong decision. You have to be able to understand and answer the questions that go along with it in order to maximize the potential grade that you can get. Also practice writing under pressured time conditions. You need to be able to organize your ideas clearly and quickly within a short space of time in the exam. For your schriftliche Produktion, in this section you will write either an informal letter or opinion essay. You need to write about 160 words as a guide and answer all bullet points fully while expressing your ideas clearly. Here is an example of what a letter looks like, where you are given 5 paragraphs and you answer 4. Remember to try to use as much of the question as you possibly can in your answer, and to engage with this as if you're talking to your friend. So make sure you answer directly what they're asking you and don't try to just write any sentence that fits. Try to make sure that it's relevant towards the letter. The letter or written production is one of the longest and most demanding sections in the exam. You will write either an informal letter or an opinion essay of about 160 words. I would suggest doing the letter. For 2026, the most likely topics include social media, health, the environment, future careers, holidays, and school stress. These topics are broad, but they follow clear patterns. The most important thing is to answer every point fully. Each bullet point represents marks, so skipping one can significantly reduce your score. Since COVID, now what you've been given is 5 paragraphs and you are expected to answer 4 of them. The good thing about that is that you have choice. Let's just say there's 3 paragraphs that you're able to answer comfortably. However, there's 2 paragraphs to where you're unsure which one you're going to do. One of them you might have better vocabulary for, the other one you might have better ideas for. My suggestion would be to choose the one that you have better ideas for. It will be much easier to write, and then likewise the vocabulary will come at some stage. However, if you're trying to form your answers around specific vocabulary, that can be much more stop-start or stagnant, and therefore you mightn't be able to write as fluidly or as freely as you'd like to. You should aim to use a range of tenses, for example, the present, past and future. It also really shows a high level of language ability. Structure is essential. For a letter, include an introduction, and you have your main paragraphs and your conclusion. If you learn off your opening and your closing for your letter correctly, they are worth 2 marks each, which is 4 marks in total. And every 4 marks you achieve in your German exam is 1% of the overall exam. Unfortunately, you cannot throw away that 1%. You know, at some stage throughout every subject that you study for Leaving Cert, and likewise with German, you're going to lose marks at some stage. You do not want to throw away the marks that you can pre-learn off before going in the door. For the opinion piece, if you choose to do that, clearly present your argument and support it with reasons. A common mistake is writing memorised essays. They don't actually usually match the question. Instead, learn flexible phrases and adapt them to the topic you are given, such as including idioms or expressions. Now, on to final advice. To perform well in this exam, clarity is more important than complexity. Examiners reward correct, simple German rather than ambitious but inaccurate language. Make sure you practice regularly using past exam papers, which you can find on the ExamRevision website, as they give you the best insight into the structure and expectations of the exam. Focus on key topics that are likely to appear. Build your vocabulary around them and practice expressing your opinions clearly. Finally, manage your time very carefully in the exam and always leave time to check your work. Small corrections can make a significant difference to your final grade. To finish, this course offers a full walkthrough of the revision package, showing you how to use each source effectively. If you want a structured, guided approach to revision, it can be useful to support your learning. Thank you for listening to today's Leaving Cert 2026 predictions for German. Remember that these are predictions. These are not guaranteed to appear on the German exam. However, they might. From all at ExamRevision, we wish you the very, very best of luck in your Leaving Cert examinations, and likewise in German especially. Thank you for listening to today's video. Talk to you soon, and remember to visit the ExamRevision website to practice some quizzes, look at advanced notes, or even to look at some video tutorials related to topics. Bis bald, viel Erfolg und tschüss.